What did you guys just real quickly, I guess, because we're going to talk about Raw. So we'll transition over to this. What did you guys think of War Games? Just I want each of your opinions, like the cliff notes of it, maybe like an overall grade or whatever. I don't know. We can start with John. What do you grade it?
From what I saw about half of it. I was actually traveling to Buffalo during this Blizzard event and ended up stranded in a rest stop. So me and my wife were watching it in the car in a blizzard on the phone. I liked the women's war game match was a bit sloppy. When they get these big matches, that tends to become kind of a theme where the sloppiness feeds off of each other a little bit.
Yeah, it was ass, bro. You can say it. You can say it was ass.
I liked the men's one. I did like the domino effect of everyone just like running the finishers at the end there. But yeah, I always mark out for the cage matches. Those are always a treat for me. So I got to enjoy what I saw of it.
Nice. What about you, Ropes?
Let's start with the women's match there. Let's call it how it is. That was a dumpster fire full of excrement. I just couldn't. I was like, why? Well, you see Nia Jax and her hugging share shots and everything that was botched inside of there. It's just not. That wasn't gonna be it. And the fact that they made her start the match, you're just exposing her. So that in the ending when Rhea beating Liv, no, that just not for me. But the rest of the pay-per-view, I was really shocked about Nakamura. It just when after the 3 count, I was like, oh, they did that. Yeah. But the best match of the night was a triple threat. As far as a wrestling match goes, he actually had me in it because of the action. And then the whole thing with Damian Priest and Gunther, that finish, we already saw it at SummerSlam. I don't care for that. And way less because of Finn Balor. And then the men's War Games match, I think the story was told there. I thought the heels were going to go over, but they found a way to do it that I wasn't expecting. So I was okay with it. I will give this show about a B.
Nice.
Just because I'm being biased here. It probably is better, but I was expecting more out of it, and I didn't get it.
Fair. DJ, what about you, brother?
I pretty much, so we all can be in firm agreement that the women's match sucked. We don't have to be nice to them because they're women.
Yeah.
Okay, it stunk. It was just sloppy. Compared to the men's match, to where the men's match had pacing, this match just seemed rushed and was just doing spots to try to get pops. And it didn't work. The Shinsuke match, no one could have predicted that finish. Everyone thought it was just going to be another notch on LA Knight's belt. So I'm interested to see where it's going from there. Again, the best match of the night was the triple threat. It's really rare in WWE where you see a good triple threat match, and this is one of them. These were the perfect 3 guys to have this match with. So I loved this match, especially with Braun going over strong. Definitely loved the match. The Priest Gunther match, the in-ring work was good. Didn't really care about the story because it was just Priest beating up on Gunther and then having a regular Gunther match after. No one wants to see Finn and Damian again. So let's just get that over with and done by Rumble, please. And I'll be cool. And then with the main event, I pretty much predicted Roman's team. I was the only one who predicted Roman's team was going to win. All you guys thought it was going to be the heels that were going to win.
Yeah, so I have a rule on my show, too, because I do all the PLEs. I watch them along. So I go, my official locked-in picks are the day of. And I did say, after I watched SmackDown, it completely changed my mind. I was like, okay, clearly the OG Bloodline is going to win this. But then what does Solo do? Like, okay, so the Floodline story's done then. Like, what do they do? All break up? Where do they go from here? Like one-on-one matches? They just they all hit their finishers on Solo and all that. So it did shock me a little bit, but you are right. On last call, I did my initial prediction before SmackDown was wrong, but then after SmackDown, I switched it. But yeah, I took the L. I was like 2 for 3. I was like 2 and 3 on the night, but sorry, DJ, go ahead.
No, and Honestly, the only reason I thought they were going to win initially was because Punk was on that team and they weren't
Right.
going to let Punk lose. Like, just logically, you don't throw CM Punk in as the fifth man and then have them lose. And I was going into the pay-per-view thinking every team who had the advantage was going to lose. Because that's War Games rules.
Yeah.
That's like the unwritten rule of War Games. If you have the advantage, you lose. So the women baby faces should have lost. How the you have advantage and beat the out of everyone and
I
win?
know. Oh God, it was so funny.
Like
it was so bad.
I've starting to have the mindset that Ropes has when it comes to Rhea Ripley, that they're booking this lady too strong, and don't be afraid to get more heat on her. Get as much heat as you can off of her. She's a top baby face. It's not like she's gonna get less over if you get some heat on her.
Yeah. I think too that women's war games match should have just been sort of what To Ropes is saying there. Like, it ultimately boiled down to what? Rhea and Liv 1-on-1. So why not just have a traditional 5-on-5, eliminate all these chicks, and then just have them go 1-on-1 at the end? Liv has no choice. Everyone else is eliminated. She could have cowered behind everyone the entire match, and then they all get eliminated, and then it's just her and Rhea. That would have been the way to do it. But you know what they say?
Best guys, Tony Khan.
So Monday Night Raw went down after the War Games event, and basically, well, we're at Bleacher Report here. Shout out Alfred Konuwa over at Forbes, but we always go to Bleacher
I
because
fucking love him.
Me too.
I follow him on Twitter. He's hilarious.
Yeah, he's a real good pal of mine, and Bleacher Report, of course, would be like his rival, but they're owned by Warner, like WBD. So I read them because I feel like they're going to be more like the opposite of what I think, and then I can, sort of psychoanalyze it because I'm a sicko.
From both sides.
Yeah.
Exactly. You got your side and then the enemy side, and then the shoot somewhere in the middle.
So, yes, well, that's the way to do it. Fence sit and Phil over here. But CM Punk opens the show. Of course, there's recaps of War Games. CM Punk opens the show. Place erupts. Look in my eyes. Everyone's singing it. Everyone's yelling. It's clobbering
like
time.
Mussolini.
Yeah. And so Punk comes out there, drops a fiery ass promo. And then we get Rollins. I can't play it on the show because we'll get Don Stevens via WWE. But basically, Punk and Rollins have like the fakest little exchange, but it was still all good. Like, they just went to slap box each other, and then dude shot in on the other one. It was hilarious. People are laughing at it and memeing it, but it went viral nonetheless. But it was a great, amazing opening segment. So Rollins comes out. They start throwing slaps. Then it's a tussle. Then Sammy comes out, and then Rollins and Sammy start talking to each other, and then they set up the match between them for later in the main event. And the first half hour, I think, was commercial free, and we just got this brilliant, like, long ass, no matches needed. It was just like cinema. I'm sitting back watching this. It was pure fire from everyone. Especially Seth, man. He doesn't get I know people hate on the outfits and all that, but he doesn't get the goddamn credit he deserves, I think, for the way
I think so. Let me interrupt you real quick, Phil, because everyone gives Seth the credit he deserves when he's taking something seriously.
Yeah.
When he's doing the Joker laugh, the ha ha ha.
Yeah, that shit's cringe.
I'm a revolutionary. No, that's what no one wants from Seth. We want serious, badass Seth Rollins. We want the architect. We want the who was out here pissing everyone off.
Yeah. For me, like, he needs the credit for, like, when Cody returned. It was like a big part of that is like Seth selling it in the ring, where he's like laughing and then he gets all serious and he's like,
but I was gonna say, but he took that seriously.
You're right. When he gets serious like he was here, man, he's so
he's
good.
A top guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And he does no sell a lot. I'll give people that one too. Like, he doesn't sell. I'll give him that. Like, I think he does, but like, I think he's way better than like a lot of, if you want to compare it to people in like AEW, he's a lot better than that. But I get it. Like, he's the guy who, like, he hurts his knee, then he slaps it, and then he does a springboard or whatever. And it's like, all right, so I'll give people that. But either way, though, this was spectacular. I want your guys' thoughts on, I guess, DJ, you were just chiming in. So what were your thoughts, like, overall on this opening segment and all of this?
So I want to ask a quick question before I go in and chime in on everything, just so I could get an overall feel on everything. What did you guys personally think was better, the Punk and Seth segment or the Sammy Seth segment?
Oof. I enjoyed them both.
If you had to pick one and your life's on the line.
Yeah, Sammy being involved, I thought was really good. Part of me, Sammy and Seth. I like that.
That's what I thought as well. I thought so. The Punk Seth thing, I think, was more on Punk than Seth, because Seth was kind of relying on old. But when Punk hit him with the "I don't think about you, you don't have nothing I want, you're not interesting to me, so get the out of my way." That's what got us interested.
Right. But then Sammy and Seth were exchanging,
the Sammy and Seth thing, Seth was going off. Seth was cooking on that one.
And they were both back and forth. Like, it was like, oh, this
just
guy
from the,
cooked,
not
this
even
guy
that,
cooked.
just from the start of him saying, yeah, go back to your cousin Roman, and Sammy trying to, don't you dare talk about Jay like that. You're right. He's family. What's your excuse?
Yeah,
that was the line that hooked me in. Like, okay, Seth, you preaching right now. What is your excuse, Sammy?
And even Seth saying like he's family. Like, Seth is like, well, if you're family with Roman, that means you're family with me
too.
You're not my family. Type shit. That was like
I said, it started adding layers to this, and they were going with it. The Sammy is, you're the one who created the monster 10 years ago.
And then he goes, no, you created them.
In my head, I was like, you know what? You're right, Seth. It's all your fault. You created this demon. What you got to say about this? Hit him with the rebuttal. You did the same things. You betrayed him too.
Ooh, cooked, man. Cooked. One of the best segments
like I said,
of the year.
That one had more layers to it. Even though it only finished off to like an end of the night deal, I wanted to see Sammy and Seth at a pay-per-view at this point. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, him and Punk for now. Let Punk go do something else. I don't want Punk and Seth yet. No, let Punk do something else. I want Sammy and Seth for now. I didn't know I wanted it. I want it now. And now I also think this is going to... Here's what I think is going to start slowly happening with Seth. I think Seth's going to turn heel again. I think Punk's going to have this dramatic effect on everyone who he feuds with now in WWE and turn them heel. It just happened with Drew.
Bro, Drew, we about to talk about that in a bit too. But Ropes, what was your thoughts on this opening segment? And I guess, what did you like better? The interaction between Sammy and Seth, or Seth and Punk?
What just happened Monday night is what I look forward to every Monday night that I don't feel I get often. I think that intro last night was exactly what I want to see from these guys, what I want to see from Seth, especially because sometimes he just goes out there and he's just jabbing, and I'm like, bro, I'm not paying attention anymore. But yesterday he came out, yes, he was still being Seth, but he was serious, like DJ said. And then CM Punk came and cooked him. But then Seth turns around and he cooks Sammy. Even though Sammy, gave him some truth, I feel like Seth had the better of the promo there. I'm not a Sammy fan, but that moment there and the match at the end of the night, I was looking forward to it because of the promo. It got me interested in it.
Hell yeah. What about you, John?
I also want to say about that segment is they had us so distracted with just that segment and had us only worrying about the him and Seth issue. We would have no one was even thinking the end of the night, how it ended, was going to
I know. Happen. I couldn't, dude.
It wasn't in the realm of our in our reality of thought. But then when it happened, it made so much sense, and I'm like, dude, this is beautiful.
And I tweeted out too in the middle of the main event. I'm like, wow, what an amazing Raw. I was like, unless some travesty happens, like, what? This is such an incredible Raw. And then the ending happens, and you're like, okay, A+, 12 stars in the Tokyo Dome. This is,
it felt like a Raw after
Raw of the year. Yeah, this is Raw of the year. But John, I want your thoughts on the opening segment, and what did you like better, Punk and Seth, or Seth and Sammy?
If I break it completely down, I do like small differences with Seth and Sammy. I completely agree with the issue with Seth is when he's serious, it is a whole nother level. I don't like when he's in his Becky Lynch bag and he's dressing like Becky and, they're sharing the same outfits. It's too much. But when he's in there and he means business, it's like a whole different character almost. So I loved the first half hour, like you guys said, it was one kind of big long scene. It just transitioned that whole half hour, the flow that they got out of it. What I like too in the last couple of weeks that we've started to see, or maybe longer than that now, these promos when the wrestlers are going at it, it feels a lot more intense, like an intense, not full shoot, but kind of like when the Attitude Era, the shots that these guys are taking at each other, there's enough truth in it that it appeals to people. The aggressiveness, whether it was Kofi going at it last week or them with Big E later on, it just feels like they've allowed them to turn it up a level in the promos with kind of the nastiness of it.
You don't like my TV writer scripts, pal? What's the matter with that?
I was just about to say that, Phil.
Hey, now I carried this business for a long time, pal. I don't really take too kindly. You know what? You're fine.
No, but that's exactly
what I was on the ground and bark like a dog, bitch.
The fact
it's
that
what they wrote for you. Hey,
like...
I didn't book myself to make out with this hot bitch. They wrote it for me. If you don't like it, you can get the fuck off my play. No, I'm so sorry, guys. But yes, I agree with you, John. I agree with you there. Sorry, what were you saying though?
But that was kind of my main point. But I definitely love, like I said, the whole flow of it, the way it's set up, and then, like you guys said, the way it crescendos at the end of the night. It was just so well done and put together. And like Rope said, these are the episodes that we wish we got more often. But this whole episode was pretty captivating, and I thought this was really an example of when it's done right.
So we move along to Damage Control versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. So out of the blue, Kairi Sane's just back in the fold with Io Sky, which that was the big part of War Games I didn't like either. It's like, okay, they needed a fifth person. Well, Io Sky's in Damage Control. Why don't they just bring in one of them? Or also, like, you just jumped Bailey out of your crew. So why would you guys trust each other? There should have been more story to that too. There was some more juice they could have squeezed out of that lemon there, boys. But all I'm saying is that they're back in tag action. I love Io and Kairi. I think those two together are like the best women's tag team in the world. And they had this match. It was fun. I don't know, dude. It was just a great television match, and Rodriguez and Morgan get the win. Tessa Torre revealed on commentary that Sky will challenge Morgan on Saturday night's main event. So we have 3 title matches now. It's like essentially Battle of the Belts. Only better. Only people will watch this one. It'll be great. But yeah, so we get the world's women's title is on the line. It's also announced that like KO and Cody will fight for the WWE title. It's also announced on this show that I believe Finn and Gunther will fight for the world heavyweight title on main event as well. So goddamn, son. Goddamn, kid, we got 3 title matches. We're going to drink some beer. So, yeah, I don't know. This match was great. Just a good little TV match, and I think Io's like one of the best in the world. Liv, obviously. I mean, come on. We know why she's front and center of everything WWE's doing right now. Raquel's a little bit of a goober, and Kairi's amazing. That's my thoughts. Your guys' thoughts. I guess we'll start with Deej, man. What's up? What did you think about this?
I think Raquel's doing the Camille role better than Camille.
Which isn't saying much, folks.
It isn't saying much, but
low bar.
As in terms of a presentation and actually being a bodyguard and still, she hasn't looked weak yet. Yeah, she could be a lot better. She's not the fridge bad, but she's not. I don't see her as terrible yet. It's not like she's sloppy. She's just not interesting, if that makes sense.
Sure.
But I thought this match went a little too quick. At least, but Damage Control is also small as hell, so Raquel shouldn't really have a problem throwing them around like ragdolls the way she did. And I'm looking forward to the Io Liv match. I think it might cook, but I also think Io might have to carry Liv a little bit more than she would anybody else.
It's a fair assessment. What say you, Ropes?
Oh, the match was just another match for me. But I did enjoy towards the end when Raquel picked up Kairi Sane and she killed her. I thought she was dead when she dropped her on the mat. And then after that, I mean, we know what we're gonna get when Liv and Io Sky at Saturday main event. or should I say Night of Champions? Oh no,
Battle of the
wrong.
Belt. Hey, it's actually the parade of perennial champions.
And
The parade
And
of
we-
penultimate matches. It'll be great.
and we know that I'm assuming Liv is not dropping this Saturday main event because Rhea is still coming for her, unless they're going to be inserting Io into this feud for whatever reason.
But Ropes, what if Rhea costs her the belt?
Right, and then
I
we
think
get
it's gonna
Liv and Rhea in
Wait.
the Rumble, and then you just have a singles match between women that mean more than a title.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, I mean that I will agree with that, but then
I feel like it has to be a title
Rhea.
change on that show. And if there's going to be a title change on any match, I think Io Sky could take that belt and run with it for a little bit. Especially
Well, hold up.
with Rhea costing the belt and starting Rhea's revenge tour.
Well, we're Fantasy Mark Book, and let's let Rope say what he's got to say here about yes. What do you think? Because I don't think Gunther's going to drop. I don't think Cody's going to drop. What say you, Ropes?
I think he has a point. However, we saw on Raw that Rhea said to Io, "I'm not gonna get involved in your match," but then she'll be coming for that title eventually. So that's why I think it's not gonna happen unless some weird twist here. And my second point is Rhea Ripley. She's Super Cena, and they're gonna make sure that title comes back to her, however she wants, where she wants to get it from Liv.
Yeah. John, your thoughts on the segment?
Yeah, like you said,
Match as well, sorry, too. Yeah, not to undermine
the tag team is fantastic. I love Kairi Sane. I love Io. I think Io will definitely pull out one of Liv's best matches. Not that she's awful, but I think Io will really cook something up with her on Saturday night's main event. And I'm kind of torn. I definitely see what Ropes is saying, that ultimately they want that moment of Rhea taking the title off of her. But even if it's a short change and, they end up getting the belt right back off of Io, in a rematch or something, I do think they try and pop something on the main event. So I expect one title to go one way or another, something to switch.
Hell yeah. We'll move along here. So speaking of Damage Control, we have Dakota Kai, Katana Chance, and Shayna Baszler with the worst. That whole PFC graphic that comes on the screen, that is terrible, WWE. Triple H, I know you're listening, right? Hopefully, maybe. Bro, break this team up. No one wants to see this. Sonya Deville tweeted out some vague stuff that made it seem like, hey, she could be next on the chopping block, right? As far as releases. And who knows, but the whole Pure Fusion collective thing, I don't think anyone wants to see this. I think Baszler just having a mouthpiece and being like the Samoa Joe of women type thing is the way to go. You just have her be this fighting machine and just have her be solo and let someone talk for her. I'm a big proponent of managers and valets. However, she comes out with the graphics and all that. I like Katana Chance and Kaden Carter as a tag team, but Dakota Kai is who I was really pulling for here. I think if you're going to have an intercontinental title, you need people from different continents. And, that's just me. I don't know, different countries and stuff. I think that makes it make more sense. And I'm pulling for her, man. And if she wins this whole thing, I wouldn't be shocked or upset. Not that I'm like the biggest Dakota Kai fan. Like she's got some stands online that are pretty crazy and out there,
I'm one of them.
There you go. I'm a big fan of hers. I have been critical of her, like, she wants a singles push. It's like, dude, it's hard when your knees aren't holding up. And however, I really enjoy her, and I really think that she's an important aspect of Damage Control. Like her promos, everything, her in-ring work is there. Hopefully her body stays together. I'm a big fan of hers. And I'm pulling for her to win this goddamn tournament. So in this triple threat, I was like, I was tweeting it out. I was like, Dakota better win or we're going to riot, bro. Like this, if Shayna wins this, I'm going to turn this show off. But man, this triple threat. Now, I know what you were saying before, like triple threats are usually, I agree with that notion. I've said it a myriad times on PWT Podcast and live show. However, the last year in the Triple H era, these triple threats have been banging. Now, this wasn't like blow me away, the greatest match ever, right? But it was just a solid, fun TV match. Like, I thought it was great. It made Dakota look really good, and they weren't like sloppy shop things up terribly. And I got to say this, whenever Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, or Ludwig are in a triple threat, you just know it's going to be good for whatever reason. I was saying that on another show, like especially Sheamus and Drew. Whenever they're in triple threats, like I don't know if it's them calling the shots with other people, but in this women's triple threat, I don't know, man. I don't know if it was Kai in there calling the shots. I don't know. It just all gelled well. I love it. I don't really like that there's no story to why Damage Control's all babyface now. Like they just kind of became babyface, I guess. And I don't know, but I'm here for it. I'm a fan of them. I'm glad they kicked Bailey's ass out of that group. They're way better without her. And I hope Dakota makes it all the way and wins this IC title. Even this Mark rated it a B. So that tells you so for a triple threat, bro, you know. Anyways, though, Deej, what is your thoughts on this triple threat? And who are you pulling for in the tournament?
Oh, I want Dakota.
Hell yeah.
In terms of everyone who needs a belt or needs a push or anything, I think Dakota Kai needs it. And I think this is the perfect test for her in WWE's eyes to see if she can run and roll with it. And if they can push something behind her in terms of, long as you stay healthy, you can do this, you can run with it. This is yours. Establish this belt. And if she does a good job with that, I think there's a main title push in her future. Because she's that good. She's always had the talent. The problem has always been her health and availability.
Right.
Those knees are shot.
Yeah, shot, bro.
Her knees
It's not even her fault.
knocks.
It's just a bad card you're dealt, but she is a Triple H girl, man. And yeah, I see the value in her.
I'm all for Dakota. Yeah. Listen, I am a Dakota mark. Okay. Yeah. I've always believed she's deserved a better push. And I'm hopefully now she's getting one. Because they need one.
No doubt. What about you, John? You like the match? You like who are you pulling for in the IC title tournament?
If I have to root for someone, I'm not sold on adding in 2 more belts. It feels a little AEW with us stacking these up. But I do like Dakota Kai, not quite as much as DJ, who I think is making a second X account so that he can rival Wes in a women's fan account. But I do like her. I do think it would be a good little way to put something on her and see if she can hold up, see if the body maintains. She definitely gets over with the crowd. She's got plenty of fans out there. And as I'm looking at this thumbnail, I don't really know why. Her outfit almost reminds me of like a throwback of like the Marty Jannetty Rockers type of outfit with the colors and slants and stuff on there.
So a jobber is what. I'm joking.
A talented jobber, nonetheless.
A talented jobber.
So, Ropes, what about you, my good friend? What say you? You like the match, and then who's your pick for the IC title tournament?
Yeah, the entire match, I was rooting for Dakota Kai to win this. I didn't think the other ones had a shot. For some reason, Shayna tweeted out, like, it seems like she thinks she deserves to advance. There's no way. But let's be honest here. We already know the finals. It has to be Lyra versus Dakota Kai.
Why?
I don't see anybody. I don't see anybody here in this bracket that will get to the finals. Maybe Ivy Nile, maybe, but everybody else, I don't think they get to the finals. So most likely Dakota wins it. But remember that Lyra, she made it to the end of Queen of the Ring. So maybe she wins it now, or they continue the story where she comes up short when she's about to get there.
I just don't see them pushing Lyra that early yet.
And Lyra just doesn't connect, man. There's something about her I just don't get it for me. It's like I just can't get behind it. It's not compelling. She's just
how many Lyra promos have you seen, Phil?
Like almost all of them. I followed her whole NXT run.
I'm saying how many have you seen since she's come up to the main
roster?
roster?
Like that's what I mean. Like not a lot, but
they haven't let her talk. They don't trust her talking.
I just don't like her goddamn talking either.
Invest in
I just don't like her talking either, though. I don't like the promos that are all like, I don't know. Oh, I will fight to be the champion. Like that's all her promos, bro. It's just like we know that's every wrestler, bro.
No, but that's why no one's connecting with her. They don't trust her to cut promos. They just expect her to get over with her in-ring work, and she's good as fuck. Don't get me wrong.
She's good at wrestling, yeah.
But people in this day and age now with the WWE boom and what's working, people want to invest in personalities and certain people now more than ever.
Right.
So if you can't talk and get us interested in you and whatever you're doing and your issues, you're going to sink in this one. You want to get by on just your moves? There's a whole other promotion with a billionaire playboy. Okay.
Well, speaking of sinking, my heart sank during this next segment here. We had 10 years of the New Day Roc N Ropes. Can I get a yeet for the New Day? 10 years of yes. So 10 years of the New Day segment, and I know that's Jey Uso's whole gimmick, but I don't have a New Day on the soundboard. I really should get one, but maybe no longer, because we thought a breakup was going to happen between Kofi and Xavier. We knew that there was going to be some sort of heel turn from somebody. Maybe they would have did the double swerve and Kofi attacks Xavier or something. We knew Big E was going to be a part of it. Where do we even start with this? They cut their promo. They're basically like, Kofi and Xavier are in the ring. They have all of these like pancakes, a crown, the old tag titles, like all of these symbols of their success over the last decade. Truly one of the greatest tag teams, if we can just break kayfabe or whatever for a minute, like one of the best tag teams of all time, brought back the Freebird rule. It was so hot. They all went on to win world titles other than Xavier. But yeah, just amazing. And so Big E comes out, which I thought was the only missed opportunity, was for him to go, "Oh, don't you dare be so." Like, if he had
and me both. I thought
the crowd would have melted for that. Yes. They sort of up by him hitting his own music. However, and shout out Wale, by the way, it's a good track. But either way, though, it lended itself. Big E coming out to his own music lended itself to the sort of triple swerve we got, which was, no, Kofi turns with Xavier and they turn on Big E. And even when Big E was like, "I'll come back and be a manager," I was like, dude, I was thinking in my brain, what if someone heel turns and then Big E's like the bad guy manager for whoever? But it wasn't even that. Like, they're playing 4D chess over there in WWE right now, and they gave us something brilliant. Kofi and Xavier found a way to they did a turn, but they unified in a bad way instead of unifying, because everyone's like, well, maybe they unify in a good way too, and the swerve is like the power of positivity because of Biggie. It seeps through and they become friends again. No, but it was like the 4D chess move. No, they find unity in coming together and saying, "You, Biggie, you weren't there for us. Where were you?" And I think what they were trying to say, but again, no writers, so someone should have really drilled this into them. But they should have told him, like, you had a singles run and went to another show and left us as a tag. You got your Wale music and you think you're doing your own thing. And I think they were trying to get to that, but it was just on like the tip of everyone's tongue. They still got the message across. It's live, and they're just like, hey, pal, you left us. You weren't there. Like, even when you broke your neck, you didn't even need surgery. I had to get surgery on that was crazy too. You didn't even need surgery, bro. Like, I needed surgery on my ACL. Where were you? Off doing your Netflix projects and all that. I love that. This was like one of the best segments of the year. So we opened the show with, you could say, the best segment, back-to-back segment, a double segment, one whole, however you want to quantify the Seth Punk Rollins Zayn stuff. And then this was like, again, you're like, holy, this is one of the segments of the year, back to back, one show. It's December, like we're almost done the calendar year. And it's like they came out with two hot promos that these could have both been on different shows. The opening segment of this Raw could have been on one show, and this could have been a whole different show. And it would have just blew me away, both shows, and made these 2-hour-long Raws like A+, So this segment just was amazing. And I don't know, I probably skipped over some stuff, but that's my freestyle recount of things, and it blew me away. A+++, one of the best Raws of the year. And that's my thoughts on it. We'll start with you, Ropes. What did you think of this segment? And yeah, just anything to add, or like they brought up Stone Cold Edge and Kurt Angle, even though Adam Copeland's over in AEW. I popped for that too, because it was it's like, okay, WWE's not being petty. They said Edge. There you go. They put Edge over. They're like, he came back from a broken neck or whatever. Sorry, I blew this enough. I slobbered and glazed all over it. Ropes, what's your thoughts on this 10 years of New Day segment?
Let the power of negativity flow. That's what I got from here. I didn't see this coming. This whole time I'm like, yeah, Xavier Woods is gonna get a singles wrong and he's gonna do his thing, and then boom, they're like, no,
Nah.
they were not gonna do that. And then while up there, I'm like, it's gonna be only the two of them. Where's Big E? And then he comes out, and I'm like, okay, so are they going to attack him? What's happening? The beauty of this segment was not a finger was raised, and everybody hates these two guys. I'm looking at Twitter all day, and everybody hates this man. They even went as far as going to Big E's girlfriend's account, and they're out there feuding. Kayfabe, obviously, but they're out
Yeah,
there.
she's talking. She's like, "Yo, like, yeah, you had to wear a bitch ass Burger King crown. I'd be mad too." That's Mia Yim's sister, by the way, as well. So
Yeah.
bring her in, dude. Michin's the two. Let's see it. Let's see some family drama. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So this was perfectly. It couldn't have been any better. And by this time, we're like, damn, Raw is pretty good tonight. What else are they gonna give us? And of course, they have more later. But staying in this segment, I couldn't ask for more. I would have never booked it that way. I don't think I'm that creative.
Damn. What say you, John?
Yeah, I was like everyone else caught off guard. I definitely saw Xavier going heel, and I thought maybe the twist would be he actually stays face, and we get Kofi goes on like a dark run. But the turn on a turn on a turn was just fantastic, especially with the heat they built up last week with their personal shots. I loved how intense they were, calling them out. You didn't have surgery. You left us for your new girlfriend. You left us for your desk job. Like, it felt very genuine. You could feel the authenticity. So like I kind of said earlier, where it feels like these promos are a lot more like the Brett and Michael's mini shoots that you would get, where there's so much truth to it for the people that understand. It was a whole nother level. So I didn't see that coming at all. It stinks that Big E is so limited. So unfortunately, you couldn't really have an attack. But to Rope's point, without even lifting a finger or even a threat of any physicality, the amount of heat that those two walked out of there with, because of the low blows, because of the cheap shots, like, it was just phenomenal. I'm really intrigued to see where this dark New Day goes from here, and does there end up being any kind of reconciliation way down the line with them? Does Big E eventually become, on the same side, and does he turn as well? But I'm more captivated in the New Day than I probably have been in the last 5 years.
Bro, I invented the Rock and Austin, bro. I manufactured the heat between Sean and Brett, bro.
Thank you. You buy. Boom.
DJ, what do you think about this New Day? I'm sure you got a lot to say. And where do you think it goes from here? But just overall, like, your thoughts on this magnificent segment.
I thought they missed a huge opportunity with, like, I thought how the segment should have started. It ended great. I would have ended it the great way. How it started, though, I would just nitpick and change a couple things. I would have started it with, them trying to celebrate. Then they start arguing and bickering. And then all you hear is, "Don't you dare be sour."
Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Your
You're 100% on that.
Tag team champions are here. So feel the power.
Dude, the crowd would have went nuts.
Crowd
But
would have went
instead
crazy, and then when you did that turn, you would have sucked all the oxygen out of everyone, because everyone would have been so happy and been on the highest of highs, and then you just kick the chair from under them and watch them fall and hope they break their neck the same way Big E did, hopefully. But in terms of segments, yeah, this was top 5 of the year easily, almost as good as any. For me, top 4 spots are all CM Punk and Drew segments, because those two guys were gold. But this was up there with one of those. You know what I mean? Those were like A-class levels of promos. This was up there in terms of a segment, in terms of grabbing your emotions, twisting your, like, when Big E said, "I'm gonna come back as your manager," I'm like, okay, I can kind of get behind that. I was hoping for a full on. Guess what? I'm medically cleared. That would have, but obviously he's not. But that would have been a huger pop. And then they hit him up, and guess what? Now you're not medically cleared, you dumb son of a bitch. But in terms of them turning on him, getting all that heat, and joining to each other, I love this negative New Day.
The negative New Day? Yeah. What do you guys think they call themselves? Just New Day still? Or is it
I think they still be the New Day. It's just they're all negative about everything. They're all like, they're in their bitchy, moany, I'm depressed teenager stage.
Well, they originally started on like a more, not entirely negative trope, but when they were first put together, they weren't really right. They weren't this positive image. So it almost kind of feels like a little bit of a full circle. Like they've made it all the way around, and now they're kind of back to what they founded at.
Man, that's a great way to.
Now, do you guys think they add a third member, or do they keep it as just Woods and Kofi for now?
Just Woods and Kofi.
Third guy.
You don't with it. Just Woods and Kofi.
I almost feel like it would cheapen it a little bit if they threw a new third guy in there.
Not Oba.
Oba Femi's missing. He's been
you just he just got called up. They're just waiting to unveil him. So Oba, I think you just stick him with a mouthpiece. Not that he can't talk, but I don't think you cheapen it with, even when they tried the Odyssey Jones, or what was that guy's name? Odyssey Jones. When they tried that,
with it though, with Oba being the big protective monster, and like.
But I like his Wakanda Forever. Like, he's M'Baku. He needs a tribe of.
Exactly.
They need to like give
exactly.
Saying Woods and Kofi could be
maybe yeah. I was gonna say stick like Omos with him too, and just have like a tribe of like Wakanda Forever. Like, that he's M'Baku. He even said it himself, which is hilarious. He said it on social media.
And like I said, I think that's the perfect type of role. I think Oba Femi fits with that. I'm not trying to be racist because I'm kind of black here.
Dude. Come on. Oh, come on now, DJ. You don't gotta defend yourself like that on PWT.
No, because I listen with ropes around. Sometimes I have to preface this. But like, I think if you put Oba Femi with Kofi and Xavier, and you get this like negative New Day tribal thing going, you feel me? We got a new tribe.
Yeah, that could maybe.
I feel like it could work. Like I don't think them as a tag team. They'll be a good tag team. You could keep them as a viable tag team. But as a group, I think those three can keep heat, and you can still keep them around the top of a card.
I'm excited to see them doing heel tag and it going against like Motor City Machine Guns, and that's what I want to see. So I wouldn't add them with Oba. I wouldn't add them with anybody, because they can both talk. They can both get over. Let's see if they can both get heat, because they were both so beloved. People are going so hard on them in socials. I want to see them lean into that more and more and more. So speaking into leaning into the heel heat, though, we got Dominic and Gunther. So I've been saying it. Gunther's a tweener. No, he's a tweener right now, man. He's not a heel, bro. And he just went against heel-ass Mysterio. And then, we just have Finn Balor. Gunther beat Mysterio. It was a great TV match. I'll tell you, like, Dominic gets good heat. I know people are tired of seeing Finn and the Judgment Day run out and blah, blah, blah. But if it ain't broke, don't. Been working. It's not a detriment to Raw or SmackDown or anything, right? It's still piquing interest, I guess. Not like it's not the best thing people want to see, but you guys get what I'm saying. It's television. We want to see the Judgment Day. Their characters we're used to seeing on every show, front to back. They're all over every show. And then Gunther, he's a tweener, bro. I'm telling you guys, he's getting attacked by heels, but he's not kissing babies. So I think they're leaning into him, Braun Breaker. I think WWE's starting to go, okay, we can work with tweeners here. I'm not the biggest fan. I like clear baby faces and heels. Some guys can get away with the tweener thing. I think Gunther's a full-on tweener here. I don't think you can fully call him a baby face, because he's been such a piece of he has to like atone for those sins for us to be like, okay, you've redeemed yourself. Same thing with Priest. I've said it a million times, right? He was such a piece in Judgment Day. Okay, cool. You beat up Judgment Day. That's still personal to you. They kicked your ass out. You aren't just like a white meat baby face. You have to redeem yourself still to the audience. You have to save someone's life almost at this point. because you've been such a piece for so long, and it still seems like you're just out for yourself. Rhea has a bit of that as well, although she is like the most over baby. You can't really argue. She had her heart broken, so therefore she is the baby face by rule of women, I guess, but either way though, I guess we'll start with DJ. What did you think of this match? Gunther defeats Mysterio, shenanigans. Finn wants the shot against Gunther. He gets it at main event. Your thoughts on it all?
I thought this was a really good TV match. Gunther is great in the ring. Dominic pulls off the heel thing to the best we've seen it in years. And he can actually get heat. Everything he does, people want. Everything that happens to him, people want to happen to him. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm interested in that. I'm not that interested in Gunther and Finn, though. But
Me neither, really.
Finn's a Triple H guy. Triple H has always loved Finn. He's always been invested in Finn as being a top guy or being saw as a top guy. So I'm gonna give the match a chance before I completely on it. But I think it'll be a great match. Not intrigued.
I think it'll be a great match, but yeah, I agree with you. I'm just not intrigued either. Ropes, what about you, pal?
Well, I don't know if you guys know, I am not interested in Finn Balor, but it's not because it's Finn Balor. It's because of the way that he's been booked. They always bring him up. They're gonna do something, and then nothing happens. It's just he's in the main title picture, and then always loses. As far as this match goes, it was a pretty good match. Gunther and Mysterio going at it the second time. I think they've done this as entertaining as it can be. But at the end, with Finn having this match a Saturday night main event is okay. It's like, here, have something to do a Saturday night main event. But we know the finish already. Which is gonna come out.
He's like, we already know what's gonna happen. Dude. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right though. Priests get involved. What say you, John?
I actually skipped this one. I did not catch any of this. I was kind of up and about and doing stuff. I didn't catch any of this one.
Fair enough. So we have R-Truth versus Pete Dunne, and Truth beat Dunne. And I've been saying Butch is better. Butch is greater than Pete Dunne. He was more over when he was Butch. I don't give a fuck what all the haters are saying. I do like Pete Dunne, but he had his time in NXT, and with Butch, he got over. And I know the Brawling Brutes are no more, so we can go back to it. But I don't know. He's losing R-Truth, which is all good. I love R-Truth. He's a national treasure, and this was what it was. It's just fodder for TV. We got to crush some time, tell some stories backstage with Zayn and Adam Pearce. Oh, by the way, this is around the time where Jey Uso gets attacked after this match or whatever, and that's really what the segment was about. Uso gets attacked, and Zayn's asking Pearce who did it. Pearce is like, you know who. Zayn thinks it's Rollins, which leads into the main event we'll talk about. And we'll just jump into it because, I mean, Truth and Dunne, it's like, whatever. I'm sure you guys can reserve your overall sentiments on that one. But anyway, so the story gets told, right? Jey Uso gets attacked from behind. It's a whodunit. It's a murder mystery, pal. But he's not like laid out completely. He just got like glommed from behind, right? So it's like, Jay, you didn't see it? You didn't catch a whiff of the guy or something? You don't know who it was? So it was kind of funny. But he thinks it's Rollins, right? Zayn does. So he goes out. They have a main event. It's Rollins versus Zayn, two tremendous wrestlers who've wrestled each other for 2 decades straight, in Ring of Honor all the way through WWE. You can trust these two to have a great match. And I don't know. I thought the match was phenomenal. They were cooking. I said it earlier. I tweeted it out like, dude, this has been maybe Raw of the year, because not to just like gloss over the R-Truth stuff. It was funny. It was like a quick roll up, whatever. Pop me. That's good for TV, right? You got to do like that just to kill a little time. So then the focus goes to the story at hand leading into the main event. So Drew McIntyre, though, out of nowhere at the end of this match, pops up. You think they're going off air, right? Rollins pins Zayn because I believe he was like distracted, wasn't he? Or what happened? It was a finish. No, there was like a roll up.
Yeah, it was a roll up.
Yeah, so what happened there? Like, why was it a roll up again? Was it
because Seth was telling Sammy that think about it. It wasn't me.
Oh, right, because he had the
So-
chair, right, and he's like, dude, you think I would
Yeah.
do that to Jay, right? And then so Sammy drops the chair, Seth rolls him up. Thank you. Yeah, I forgot about that huge plot point there as well. Like Sammy snapped, he grabs a chair, he's like, you beat up my Uso? Like he's really all in. He's Sammy Uso, bro. He's all in on the family. He's about to DQ himself. He don't give a. I'm gonna take the less pay. I'm gonna glom Rollins with this chair for messing with my Uso. And Rollins is like, bro, you really think I'd do that though? You know? And then out of nowhere, roll up. Everyone's shocked. Drew McIntyre shows up. Claymore kicks every in the building. No, just leaves dude laying, and just an amazing finish. He's wearing the hoodie. You see the Claymore. Testator calls it. Well, that's the Claymore. That's Drew McIntyre. Takes the hoodie off. Everyone in the building pops. They go off air. What a timely. It just obviously he's got to be back now from Hell in a Cell, and it's like. Just the perfect timing. It all makes sense. DJ was saying it earlier. It just, I don't know. I'm so excited. They have a new, just white hot heel. I feel like Drew's got to get that belt eventually, but he's got so many hot matches with guys that don't even need belts because WWE's cooking right now, and it's incredible. And just you didn't even need to do this. They could have did this next Raw and had us all go holy and melt down again. But no, this Raw was the Punk at the beginning. And then you got the New Day stuff in the middle, and then just the cherry on the blowjob at the end of this Raw. You know what I mean? That we all got to sit through was, was Drew coming back and just holy. And I'm sitting here going, this is Attitude Era level. I can't wait to see Raw next week now. What the, it was crazy. I can't wait for the next one. Raw going into Netflix has been tremendous television. I'll drop a air horn. John Buddy, what was your thoughts on this finale Drew returning in main event match?
It was phenomenal. So, like you kind of said, this was start to finish, this Raw, one of the best ones we've had in a very long time. The match was good. The storytelling was there with them. And I liked how the roll-up for once, I hate you seeing the roll-up. And for a long while, maybe like 2 years ago, everyone was winning TV matches with a roll-up. And it's like, how can this be so devastating? But it coming after the whole, picking up the chair, him losing it, him having no focus, I thought really well captivated. And Drew is just, I had lost all interest in Drew McIntyre about a year ago. He kept losing to everyone. He would never win anything in a big setting. And his redemption arc since this whole CM Punk storyline and the little bit before that has just been tremendous. He is such a great heel. I love that he's not carrying a sword and being this bizarro baby face. Like, it's so good. And he has just adapted to this personality so well. So I don't know if it's partially real him and he's just tapped into it more, but he is such a good heel. It's clear cut. There's no tweening. There's no questioning it. He is a man who's scorned and is going scorched earth everywhere he can.
Yeah, dude, he's like a serial killer now. The Scottish psychopath, bro. I'm telling you. You know what
so
I mean?
Much better done without the sword. Like him having this genuine fear, the dark side of him, the looks he gives, the eyes. Like it's so good to give a shit about him again and really see the investment.
You saying it over the music makes it so funny, dude. And then like the picture, it's so good.
Yeah,
So,
the eyes though. If you see, like he looks like you believe it when he comes out there. You genuinely believe that he hates these guys and that he just wants to, not necessarily beat them in the match, but just beat it out of them. It's so perfect, and I'm totally here for it, and I'm glad how wrong I was, because I thought he was irredeemable. I thought he had suffered so many losses that around the time the contract was coming up, that he just had no value left. And I've never been so happy to be this wrong on something.
I think Triple H tells people now, you're gonna lose like for a year, and then are you ready to win in 2025? DJ, what was your thoughts on this segment and Drew's return?
I thought the match was a good match. It told a great story for it. Like I said, it was one of the better Raw main events this year. And then Drew coming back and being the one who revealed they didn't fully reveal it, but we all know he attacked Jay too. So him being the one revealed that attack Jay, him coming out to kick Sammy in his face. All right, you work to CM Punk. I'm ending you, and I loved it. Again, and same sentiments as John. I thought Drew McIntyre a year ago was uninteresting, unappealing. Didn't want him. I loved when he first came in as the Scottish psychopath and thought he should go back to that. He's done that times 100 now. It's so much better. The Reddit troll Drew I'm here for it. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think it's his best work. If I feel like the chains from a bowel of a slave ship, he's finally been unleashed. Okay.
Yeah, let's go, dude.
Like, I feel like anything that's been holding him back is gone. Was it Vince? Was it people who were high up in creative that are no longer there? I don't know what it is.
Oh, come on now, pal. Don't blame me for everything now. I know my pecs were kind of up, but
it's gone. And I love that he's now the type of guy, no matter what he's doing, belt or no belt, you're interested in it. And
hey,
that's
pal, I called him the chosen one. Missing. Don't forget.
Oh, yeah. That chosen one line with Punk, though, was perfect.
Yes. Yeah.
But no, I'm excited with this. I want to see where it goes with Sammy and Jay. Does he face both of them? Does he face one of them? Does this turn into a bigger thing? Does he go after Roman? Like, we don't know what's next for Roman after him. He just put down Solo. Is it more bloodline? Is Roman going to have like a small break in between this? Is someone going to, with Roman and then Solo comes back into the picture? Yeah. There's so many different things now that Drew's back.
It's the best part of WWE right now, man. You have so many good options and like roads to take for stories, and it's like the best problem you could possibly have. Some people think like, oh, there's too many guys, and I'm like, nah, dude, it's the perfect balance, especially.
And to think about it too, Phil, they lost a Bronson Reed and gained back a Drew McIntyre.
Exactly, bro. Like that's just it. Reed's ankles broke. We're like, dude, he was such a big monstrous heel factor. Well, guess what? We got Drew, and then when Bronson comes back, someone else will need some time off or something, or be filming a movie. They got it figured out, man. They got it down to a science. But Ropes, I want your opinion, man. This match and then Drew's return, bro.
Look, I've always said that wrestling is a men's soap opera, and this last Monday night, I feel the main event started when they chose when Jay got attacked, and as of that moment towards the end, it was just brilliant. As soon as the match started, you could see, they were telling us a story, how it was going, Sammy going crazy, defending his family. I know that you did it. The main event actually had me interested in it because he actually meant something. He didn't have a title, anything, but there was a reason why it happened. And then plus the drama that they added right before. So he added more into Sammy's rage to go out there and beat the hell out of Seth Rollins. And eventually he's like, oh, I guess you are telling the truth. And then he lowers his guard, loses the match. And at that point, I'm like, okay, I guess they're going to wait until next week and let us know, how this happened. And that's what I'm thinking. And then Drew McIntyre hits the Claymore. I'm like, oh, so I guess they're telling us that he did it. And now I'm just here like, so why did this happen? Why did he attack Sammy and attack Jey Uso? So the entire main event was just exactly what I'm looking for. Made me care, not just throw a match out there for me.
Yeah, just excitement through and through. We will acknowledge this brilliant. Acknowledge me.